everybody. I am AbbyJo Hilderbrand, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I have Jordan Reynolds here, who is the new youngest Emerald in Plexus. And can I be the alumni? I'm the older one, but we get asked a lot of questions separately and together sometimes about how we work Plexus as young adults. And so we wanted to get together and do this Zoom and basically answer all of the questions that we get asked most of the time. So maybe we can give you all the answers all at once. So we will just go ahead and jump right in. We just have a list of questions, and then we'll both answer the questions and go on like that. So number one, Jordan, what would you say to someone that is your age that's just starting out?
Okay, I would tell them to go all in, and I would tell them to train themselves. So really what I like to do with new ambassadors is I have a 10-day boot camp that I do with them, and I'm sure that it's going around on Facebook too. I think it was Celeste who put it out in the first place. And so there's 10 days of just really short videos, and so they really learn about the compensation plan, why they should want to work their business, and really all about the products too. And so that's really good for whenever they first start. And then I also tell them to go on YouTube and just really watch Sonia Dudley videos, watch Sarah Marble, Tamara Holloway, Melissa Eichenhorst, and then Helen McFadden too. And I just really tell them that they're going to get a lot out of those videos. And so you're really building belief whenever you send them to those YouTube pages, because they're going to get so much belief in the products, the business, and they're going to see lots of testimonies too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So, okay, I'll go ahead and answer the same question. I love everything that you're saying, so I just want to build on that basically. So the first thing that I would want to say is congratulations, right? Because I think, in my opinion, you've made the best decision that you can make. And I know that you agree, Jordan. And so I think the very first thing to do is communicate with your upline and make sure that they know that you want to work the business, because miscommunication sometimes is the biggest hindrance in your business. So you want to make sure that they know that you want to work the business. And then the videos, the YouTube channels, every single one of those that you recommended would be the ones that I recommended too. So yeah, definitely do those. I would add Rock the Pink Live by Tim and Michelle Thomas. They interview random, well, they're not like random, but leaders in the company. I made it sound like it. And they actually had Alec and Tarl, our owners of the company, on there too. So it's really cool. Get a book. If you're just starting out, we'll talk about books in a minute, but Beach Money is a good one to build belief in multi-level marketing. And there's another one, Your First Year in Network Marketing. Those are both good ones. And just decide that you're all in, and decide that you're not going to quit. And I think those are the most important things. And I had YouTube on here, so same thing. Go ahead.
Okay. AbbyJo, what would you say to someone, what does it say? What would you say to someone young that can't seem to get their business growing?
I would ask a few questions, honestly, is what I would first start out doing. Was I would ask, are you being consistent? Are you being genuine? And would you buy from or work with yourself if you were an outsider looking in or reading your post or that kind of thing? Because a lot of times whenever someone's not like getting the jump that they need, sometimes it's inconsistency. And if people see you posting on Facebook, this week about Plexus and then not again until 2 months later, then they're going to probably gravitate towards someone else that's posting every day consistently about how great they feel and, the testimonies and things like that. So be consistent with it and share your heart. If you're being super salesy, then maybe that's a hindrance. If you can just kind of write Facebook and just share with people like a journal entry, just share what the products have really done to you, and make sure you're passionate, and make sure that you're going to events, because they always say leaders attend events and those who show up go up. I heard those all the time whenever I first got in, but they're so true. And so if you're going to events and you're actually implementing those things and you're implementing personal growth, then your business will start to soar for sure. What do you think, Jordan?
Definitely. You just stole everything out of my mouth. So I love it. Consistency is so important, you guys. Like she said, I always tell people that you can't go to the gym once a month and expect to get a six pack, or I'd already have one like a million years ago. And you also can't work this business like once a week or once a month and expect to be diamond or emerald or really rank up. You have to work it consistently and take the products consistently too. Be a product of the product. That's so important. And really just be positive on social media. I know that for me, with a lot of young people, they're really not consistent when they're posting, and then they're being negative. And so really, whenever you start this business, you're really marketing yourself. And so would you, like you said, would you want to buy from you? Do you want what this person has? So really, you want to be positive. You want to be promoting health and really be consistent. And then I'll just tell you that like events too are so important, and you really do. You build your belief in yourself, the products, and the business whenever you go to the events, and you just get excited. And it's a really good way to market too, because our events are so much fun, and so you're always taking selfies when you're there, and so you're really marketing your business, and that's really, really fun and so much. It's just really great. So I just recommend go to events, be consistent. Personal growth is really important too. I know for me, I got stuck, if you want to say that, at Senior Ruby for about a year. And personal growth is really what got me from Senior Ruby to Emerald, because I really had to step into that leadership position. So we'll talk about books later, but definitely books and TED Talks are really great for personal growth.
Yeah, and personal growth is something I just want to like piggyback on that, because I agree. You know, being young, and you could probably agree to this, it's kind of hard to picture. It was hard for me to picture myself as a leader when there's a lot of people on my team that are older than me. And so, you know, I'm like, well, I don't want to, you know, step on their toes. And it's not like a boss role. It's just a leadership role that you have to be willing to step into. And I would say the same thing that you said, from about Ruby to Emerald. That's really when I started hitting personal growth really hard. And if I hadn't, I really don't think that I would be where I'm at. And it sounds like you agree. So personal growth,
absolutely,
super, super important. Okay. So next question, as a parent, how do I get my kid to get it like you do?
Okay. So basically I'll tell you this, that you really can't make anybody do what they don't want to do. And so I would really encourage you guys to be consistent, post. Your kid is really going to watch what you're doing. And so maybe they might get it, maybe they won't. But for me, whenever I first joined, I was just taking the products just for myself, and I just started posting about it. And I still have friends today that don't take the products, have never tried them, and they're not with me on the business at all. And so eventually they will be. And I'm all in with Plexus. I'll be here with Plexus as long as they are forever. And so they'll join eventually, but just keep doing what you're doing, and they will probably get on board eventually, you guys. So I'll just encourage you all, keep going. And even if nobody joins you in the beginning, I liked my own Facebook posts. And so really just kind of keep doing it, keep going, and people will eventually catch on. And that's what they did for me, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would say to you, the first thing that I want to say is, you know, kind of like Jordan was saying, some people will get it right off the bat and some people won't. Sometimes it takes a little bit of push, and it takes a little bit of time of them seeing you being consistent, even as a parent. And as a parent, I think the worst thing that you could do, one of the worst things, is to start feeding them ambassadors that really should probably be under you when they haven't done anything or they're not working the business at all. And because there's a reason for that, because whenever I first started up, I'm under both of my parents and then my brother. So yeah, I would have loved for them to start giving me ambassadors. You know, it helps all of us. I tried, but they didn't do it. And I'm really glad that they didn't do it, because what it does is it tells that new ambassador that, you know, they're not quite important enough to be straight under you when you're the one that did all the work. You know, you're going to, oh, well, I'm just going to help that person. So you're just, to them, you know, they're just that person that's helping your daughter or your son or whatever. And then to your kid, it's not really teaching them an accurate description of how this business works, because you do the work and then you get the people. So that would be my biggest thing. And if they don't get it, just like Jordan said, just be consistent with it, because they'll come around eventually once they see really what this opportunity really is.
Okay. What are your favorite books?
Oh, I have so many favorite books. Okay. So I can't talk about Plexus without talking about books and personal growth. And I've heard time and time again that network marketing is just personal growth with a paycheck. And I really think that that's super true. So I have a couple different like genres of books. And to build, if you have trouble dreaming, I think something that's super important with Plexus is make sure that you're dreaming big. And, you know, you don't want to have super low goals, because then, you know, where's God in that? I mean, you know, God honors big dreams. So in that vicinity, I would recommend The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson, The Dream Giver by, oh gosh, I don't know who's that by. It's called The Dream Giver though. And then The Power of I Am by Joel Osteen. All those are going to build, you know, belief in yourself, and it talks about big dreams and those kind of things. And then and the next one is something that I've kind of learned to do. It's about money, and I would recommend Dave Ramsey's The Complete Guide to Money. Michael, my fiance, and I have just went through the Financial Peace University, and I think that's the best thing that we've done for our relationship, but it's also the best thing that I've done for my business, because, you know, I mean, if God can't trust you with a little bit of money, he's probably not going to trust you with a lot of money. So I think it's our job to be able to know how to manage that money. So that's, I mean, this stuff does tie into Plexus too. The Slight Edge is really good. Jordan, have you read that? The Slight Edge? Okay. It's really good. It's, I got it from Michelle Thomas Diamond Ambassador by Jeff Olson is what it's about. It's basically, anyway, it's a good book. And then, as far as network marketing goes, Millionaire by Halftime, My First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell, and Anything John Maxwell. Anything John Maxwell is going to be more like leadership roles, and so he's taught me a lot on being a better leader, and so those are the ones that I have.
I'm taking notes. You are done everything. Okay, so I have a few. Beach Money by Jordan Adler. I think you mentioned it earlier. Love that book. Sarah Robbins, How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I love that book. It's really short, but it just really gives you a lot of good information. Anything by John C. Maxwell, I love. I really think that for people who struggle with really stepping into that leadership role, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership will change your entire life. I did it last summer with a little group that Susie was doing, and it really did change my mindset to be a leader and really believe that I could do it. It's just really awesome. Go for No is a good book. I say Flip Flop CEO for some people. If you're really going into network marketing and you really need that belief in the industry as a whole, that book is really good. If you already have it, I would honestly probably skip over it. But for people that really need that belief, definitely that book's great. For Your Career is probably one of my favorite books for network marketing. And then I think anybody who really starts, this was my first book in network marketing. It was Go Pro by Eric Worre. That book is really good for basics and really just start your business. And it really does help you build belief and really why network marketing is great. So I recommend that book for anybody who's just starting out.
Yes, absolutely. That was great. Okay, so Jordan, that's not where we're at. Here we are. How do you train your team? Is that where we're at? That's not where we're at. That's not
where'd you go?
Okay. This is the actual question. How do you get older people to take you seriously? I'm so sure. I'm like, how do you get older people to take you seriously?
That's awesome. I have actually never ran into this problem before, but I would tell you that just be confident, be passionate, and share your heart, and just be genuine with people when you're reaching out to them. I have a lot of older people on my team. I really don't have a lot of people that are in college or my age. It's the majority of my Zumba students and people from church. So really it goes all the way back to being consistent and posting quality content and just really sharing your heart with what you're doing and with health and why you're doing what you're doing. So that's really all I got. What about you?
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that about not having a lot of young people on your team or college age, because I really don't either. The majority of my team are older than me. And so I think it's okay. I mean, as young people, it's okay to have teams that aren't all our age. And, as anyone else that's looking for just the college age group, I think it's important to branch out and not just look for the college age group, because I think a lot of times, this probably isn't the right place for this, but I'm thinking it, so I'm going to say it. A lot of times people think that there's like a gold mine, like in the college age group, and there might be, but if you're only marketing towards those people, then you're probably blocking yourself off from other people, that really need these products and that want the business. So be open to that, and don't just zoom in on one bracket or whatever of people. Anyway, to answer the question, I think that others will take you as seriously as you take yourself. So if you respect yourself, then others are going to respect you, because that's just how it works. And if you believe in the products, and your belief, if you have an unshakable belief and unshakable passion, they're going to see that in you. And I have gotten it. I've only gotten it once, where an older person said something about me not being old enough to share the products or whatever. And it really kind of got me down a little bit, but I didn't even know this person. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let that bother me, because for a long time it might have kept me from talking to people, but it's not something that needs to be feared, I guess, because no matter what, people need these products. So they might as well get it from you. Okay.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. My mom thinks this is a scam. Now what?
Okay. First of all, you're not alone. My mom definitely doesn't think it's a scam. She's the reason that I'm in this. But there are some people that, that I've seen, their moms or their grandmas or their uncles, their kids, whoever it is, there's always somebody, a friend, it might be a good friend, that is like, please don't talk to me about your snake oil. And it kind of hurts a little bit, but it's okay. Keep on walking. Don't let your friend, neighbor, whatever, just because you love them and it hurts your feelings that they don't believe you, don't let that stop you. The best thing that you can do, honestly, whenever I started, I had a lot of these, and I let that be my motivation, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you, and I'm going to prove to you that this business works. I'm going to prove to you that this business works and that these products work. And I did. And a lot of them have come back around and been like, okay, let me try it secretly. You know what I mean? And so don't quit, and they're going to come around. So that's what I have. Jordan?
I've had a lot of people do the exact same thing. Whenever I first got into Plexus, nobody even really knew what gut health was. They really thought I was literally selling snake oil. They thought I was crazy. And so along with that too, I was researching the heck out of everything. And I was like, just so shocked with what I was finding. And so I'll tell you that do your research, really just not become an expert, but really just become kind of just knowledgeable about gut health and really what you are putting out there for people. I'll tell you that I still have friends that feel the same way, but they will come around. And I had a lot of people do that in the beginning, and then now they're on my team and they're successful ambassadors, and they're like, yeah, like my friend Shonda, she might kill me if I say this, but whenever she reached out to me, she was like, oh yeah, it's a weight loss thing, whatever, another diet pill. And then I started posting about a certain issue that she was dealing with, and now she is a Ruby ambassador, you guys. So just keep posting and keep going. And like she said, use it as motivation. Just keep going. There's always going to be people that really don't like what you're doing, or haters, if you want to say that. Just use it as motivation to keep going, and they may join your team one day.
Yeah.
You never know.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. Jordan, how do you work in college?
Okay, I get this question all the time. And I can finally say now that I'm officially retired. I retired 2 months early, if I can talk. So yay. But I did work my business in college whenever I was there for 3 years. There's no secret, you guys. It's all about time management. So I'll tell you all that. Just really be conscious of your time. You can work Plexus really into the nooks and crannies of your life. So I love that. And that's what I did in the beginning. And really, whenever I started working Plexus, I didn't really know I was actually doing work. I was just really sharing what the products were doing for me, posting it on Facebook, telling my sorority sisters about it. And then it just really went from there. And then I kind of got more knowledge and was really working it, really helping people. And so just really work it where you can. And just make sure you have your priorities straight. Just go to school, do your homework, work Plexus, go hang out with your friends. It's just all about balance. So there's no secret, just time management is really good. I don't know if I have this thing, but this thing right here is really awesome. I just got it. I wish I had it 3 years ago. It's a timer and it has like 30 minutes. So if you really struggle with time management, get a planner, plan out your week, plan out your days, plan out your month, put your goals there, and then get one of these things. They're awesome. They're 30 minutes, and you can kind of just move on to the next thing. So what about you? Because I know you were in college too when you started.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need to get one of those sand things. I
How are
want
you?
anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yes, she is absolutely right. Mine is a little different because she's retiring, and that's awesome. And I was actually in an X-ray program whenever I started, and I was in my second year of a 2-year program. I was starting, so I only had 1 year of school left, and I was wanting to go on to school, but anyway, I decided that the Plexus opportunity was way better than anything school could offer me. So that's what I did. But so I only worked the business when I was for a year, but I was full-time student. I was waitressing pretty much every day of the week, and I was doing Plexus. And so I do know a little bit about it. But, to be honest, we're all busy, whether we're in college or whether we're a mom or, just working a full-time job, we're all pretty busy. And so everything that Jordan said was absolutely right. It's just time management. And it's just, I think if you have the will to work it and you decide that you're going to make this work, then you will find the time and it won't be that big of an issue because you're, like she said, it doesn't even feel like work. You're just sharing something that you're passionate about. So if you keep doing those kind of things and you decide that you're all in, then it's not going to be an issue, I don't think.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you that I was in 15 hours. I was in a sorority. I was teaching like 4 or 5 Zumba classes, also working out on my own, trying to study, trying to have a social life. So you really can work it where you can. And I think busy people are the most successful ambassadors, because we're so used to being like that. So we can work it in whatever we can. And then it just really works with our lifestyle. So
yeah,
I'll say anybody can do it. Okay. AbbyJo, what is your DMO?
Okay, so if you haven't noticed in this short little time, I'm very scatterbrained, and I will start something and I'll be like, oh, I need to do that. And so I'll start something else. And I was really bad about that pretty much my whole life. That's how I am, whatever. But what I've decided to do instead of that is I write goals at the beginning of the day. So I sit down, or the night before, it's usually the beginning of the day though. I sit down and I'm like, okay, you're going to contact 5 people today. You're going to read. I read every single day. You're going to follow up with your ambassadors, just different things that I feel like I need to do that day. And then as I'm going, if I think, oh, there's a scroll that I need to finish this day, then I'm going to write it down I literally have a whole stack of note cards that I sit right here. And literally it's bad, you guys. So I write down what I'm going to do, and then I highlight it because I am obsessed with highlighters. So when I get to highlight it, it's like, yes. And so I highlight myself when I get it done. And then when I'm done, I can do whatever I want to do, or, which is usually some more Plexus. But I will say, I pray over my team every single day. I do a training every single day. I go from event to event, and I think we're asked about that later, so I'll do that. Posting on Facebook every day, following up, reaching out, those kind of things. It's just I don't have a set schedule because I would like rebel against it. And so anyway, find what works for you, and make sure DMOs are super important because the success is in your daily activity that nobody really sees, because to everyone else, you just become emerald overnight, but really they don't see the late nights and, the times that you spent whenever everyone else is out, you were working your business and those kind of things. So be committed to it, but don't burn yourself out. Would you agree? I don't know. Go ahead.
I totally agree, yeah. For sure. Mine changes every day because some days I'll have meetings, some days I'll want to go run, some days I'll teach Zumba. So it really just changes every week and every single day. But I always try to read 1 book a week. I was watching this thing on YouTube. I was watching a TED Talk, and this guy was on like an ad, and he was talking about how Bill Gates reads a book every single day. That's not feasible for most of us. So my goal is to do one every week. And just like anything personal development. So that's one of my goals. And then I always say, get yourself a planner. That's my best friend. And I am the most unorganized person ever. If you would look at my office right now, this is like the only space that's not horrible. Like my floor is covered with stuff. So it really helps me stay on track. And it really does get easier the more you use a planner. Now I can't live without it. I almost forgot one of my meetings today, and my friend actually had to message me on Facebook, so I didn't put it in there. But just make sure you're staying on top of it. Make goals, daily goals, weekly goals. I make sure I'm posting on my team page at least once a day, just something inspirational, something for them to use. I reach out to a couple of my team members just to check on them, see how they're doing. And with that, I'll tell you guys that make sure that your team knows that you really care about them outside of Plexus. So really see how they're doing, how their kids are doing, or whatever else they're involved in. Make that relationship. And then I just make sure I post twice a day on Facebook, just something Plexus. And then I also post a bunch of other stuff too, like inspirational stuff. So that's really what I do. And then I love TED Talks. I wish I could have put that in books, but my favorite TED Talk, I'll put it in here, is Mel Robbins. And it's her TED Talk from a couple years ago. Has a few million views. It's absolutely amazing. I can probably say the entire thing without her actually saying it on YouTube because I've seen it so many times, but she's fabulous. So I really just like to start my day with something inspirational, like a video or a training call or something. So that's mine. And then teach Zumba. That's usually what I do every day.
I like that. I wish I was closer so I could come take your Zumba class.
I know. It'd be so much fun.
Okay. So that leads us into, how do you train your team?
Okay, awesome. We just started recently doing Zooms, so they've really helped a lot. We did one a couple months ago where I had all of the golds and above on my team just really share what's really worked for them, a tip. We all obviously hit belief really hard, so the second time we did it, we assigned things because we were all like belief, consistency, and it was kind of just like piggybacking off of each other for the first hour. So, but we do Zooms a lot. We do a lot of events. So I at least try to do 1 or 2 events a month. Either we do an online Zoom opportunity or we do a Facebook posting one. We're doing one tonight after this too. And it really does help train the new people or people that have been in it a long time. It teaches them about the products, how they can, how people like really buy Plexus, like retail, preferred, wholesale, what those each mean, and really about all that is Plexus. Honestly, they get a lot of testimony. So we do a lot of those. I consider those training for a lot of people. I post on my team page every day, like I said. Usually I'll use like Tamara Holloway, Melissa Eichenhorst, Sarah Marble, anybody like that. I'll post something. And then I always make sure to do like Testimony Thursday. I always post like the Diamond documentary that goes out every Thursday. So it just really helps them with motivation. So I use the team page a lot. And then just really messaging people and really letting them know that I really do care about them and getting them motivated too. Just really any silvers that anybody goes silver, they get a card from me, no matter what level they are in my team, so that they know that like I said, people want to know how much you care about them, and then they make that relationship, and it's just so awesome. So my team has really grown a lot, like really close, because we've been doing those things for sure. What about you?
That's awesome. And I love how you're talking about the importance of building relationships with your team, because honestly, some of my best friends have come from Plexus that even in cross-line ambassadors, but when you can build that relationship with your downline, you already have Plexus in common. So find other things that are in common, because you more than likely have some really awesome people. I have some really awesome people on my team, and I want them in my life. And so besides Plexus, even if it wasn't, I want them in my life. And so building relationships, I just want to reiterate that, because that's really huge. What I do as far as training is my Diamond Upline and I talked about going from event to event. She brought this up to me, and it's basically not like convention and super Saturday, those kind of things, but basically training to training. So I did like 21 irrefutable laws of leadership with my team. And then my mom and I went together and did a 6-week training. And then I started implementing one-on-one coaching calls. So every week we do 15 minutes with just my level 1 runners, and 15 minutes of, okay, what are we doing this week? Set your goal. I let them set their goals for the week, basically what they want to do. And then we look at where they want to be, in 3 months and how we're going to get there. And then now I'm in the middle of a 30-day challenge right now. So I've committed to my team that I'm going to be doing these events so that they know, okay, well, she's in the middle of a 30-day challenge right now, but as soon as April's over, something else is going to be going. So they know that there's trainings all the time that are going to be implemented that they can be getting onto. And so I think that's really important. And that's what I do. And obviously, and I know Jordan does this too, we encourage everyone to go to convention and get to as many other trainings and stuff that they can, but convention is really, really big.
Of course, yeah. 21 irrefutable laws is probably the best thing that anybody can do with their team, honestly, because it does build that belief and it makes people really believe that they can actually do this business.
Yeah.
So I love it. I've done it. This is my first group I'm going through right now with them. I think we're on like chapter 10 and 11 right now. We do 2 a week. So it's really awesome. And I've seen a huge change for sure.
That's awesome. I love that book.
It's great. Okay. Is it my turn? Yeah. Okay. How do you keep your team motivated?
Okay. I really like this question because I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially the very new ones. They have one ambassador, and that one ambassador is like kind of on the fence, and they're like, you can't leave me, and they try everything to keep that one motivated. And that was me. I was literally spending hours on end, and it was exhausting to me trying to hold on to those people, because I was like, please don't let go, basically begging them for them to, do the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, what? I shouldn't have to be begging people to do that. And so instead I kind of finally switched my mindset around. And Leslie Zann has a really awesome quote, and she says, our job is not to motivate others. It is to find the motivated. And once I really got a hold of that, and I really took that to heart, because I was trying to motivate everybody. And really, when I switched, we're supposed to be spending, as leaders, we spend 80% of our time with the 20% of our team, the people that are working, that are building, that are what do we call runners. And so if you just step back for a minute, so both sides, as a leader, if you step back for a second, you're going to know who your runners are, because they're the ones that are posting on Facebook every day. They're the ones that are messaging you, asking questions. They're the ones that are signing people up. They have the high PV. Those are your runners. Those are who you want to spend your time with. And then on the other side of that, if you're somebody that is wanting to start the business, be that person. Be that motivated person to your upline, and come to them with questions, and tell them that's what you want to do, and then show them that you're going to do it. Because, words only go so far. So you want to make sure that you are actually implementing what your leaders are taking time to help you with. So I'm not sure that you probably have a completely different answer, because that's not really what, anyway, how do you motivate your team?
I do a lot of contests. So I think that really does help people a lot, is to do some contests to get people excited. Trying to think. Oh my gosh, yours was really good. Oh. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I'm back. So I do a thing every week. It's called a weekly Rockstar shout out. So I do shout outs every single week. Instead of just doing them every month, at the end of the month, I've changed it to every week, because everybody loves recognition. And so I do a top 10 PV shout out. I do the top 3 enrollers shout out. If anybody did any events, I'll put those in there too. And so if anybody ever does any events and I see them on Facebook, I will immediately take their picture, steal it, and post it on the team page and be like, they did awesome, check them out. Like, my New York girls right now are totally killing it. They're doing events every single week, I swear. So I'm always like, look at Kaysen, or look at Nicole. And so it's just really great. But I think recognition is huge to keep people motivated. I don't really know. I'm thinking of a quote, but it doesn't make sense in my head right now. I can't think about it. But I know a lot of people, I'm going to butcher it. It's like, people want to feel appreciated and important. And so what I always say is, like, people are like still that 3-year-old kid that really want praise for coloring inside the lines or doing something good or whatever. So that's still inside people. So people always want to feel important. And so those shout outs are so great, because it really is like, okay, I got the shout out. Now I'm going to do even more. I want to do it again. And so that's really awesome. Recognition is huge. I like contests. And just really reaching out to your team too helps with motivation, and just making sure that they know that you're there for them, and that you check on them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are really good. I was sitting there taking notes. So that's awesome. I'm going to start doing that. Okay. So this is kind of 2 questions in one. 1, how did you go Emerald so young? And 2, how long did it take you to go Emerald?
I'll answer the second one first. It took me 2.5 years, I want to say. I started September 2013, and I went Emerald March 2016. Yeah, that's right. How did I go Emerald so young? It just really is consistency and a passion and a drive to really get where you want to go. I say that age is just a number, because I've hung out with people that were in their 30s and 40s ever since I was 16 from Zumba. And so age has never been a factor for me. So I say if you are driven, you're passionate, and you have a plan of where to go, and you're not just like, okay, I'm going to be diamond tomorrow, or I'm going to be diamond eventually. You have to have a plan. I don't know who said it, but it's like a dream without a plan is just a wish. And so really get your plan in place, be driven, be consistent, and really have mental toughness, and just be like, you know what, regardless of what anybody else says, I know where I'm going, and I'm going to get there someday, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me. So just really be driven and go hard. Really throw your whole heart into it, and you'll get there.
That's good. That's
what about you?
Like, yeah, what she said. Yeah, seriously though, what she said. It took me 2 years. I signed up in August of 2013, and then went Emerald in the end of July 2015. So it was literally like 6 days or something. So right at 2 years, and belief in determination, belief in myself, and belief in the products, and belief in the business. All three of them are super important. And determination, setting your mind, basically everything just you said, and finding your runners and really running with them. And affirmations, to be honest, affirmations, which kind of goes with belief and all those kind of things, and dreaming big, because that was part of it too. But positive affirmations are really huge to me. I have a whole list of positive affirmations that I say over myself. It's a bookmark every single day, like literally a whole list. And then I have this side that I've written on. So things like I'm a diamond ambassador, just I'm an effective leader, those kind of things. I say them every single day, and your mind doesn't know what's like actual real and what's not. So whenever you're putting those things out there, and I believe whatever you're putting in, too, like with YouTube videos, like training videos and those kind of things, if that's what you're focusing on, that's where you're going to go. So that's what I believe.
Absolutely. I want to add something. I forgot something when I was talking. If you help enough people get where they want to go, you're going to get exactly where you want to go. So I think that's really, really important, is helping your team get where they want. And then ultimately you'll get exactly what you want to. So it's never really about you. It's about helping others. So really focus on others, and you'll get exactly where you want to go, for sure. Okay. What is one thing that helped you grow?
It's funny that you just said that about helping others, because that right there, personal growth was really big for me. But taking charge of my own future, and also getting myself out of the picture. We were at a jewel training, and Debbie Sullivan started talking about, and she says, like, act like you have a compact mirror, and when it's facing you, that's all you can think about, because, oh, is my hair okay? Or, oh my gosh, my lipsticks, all you can think about is yourself, because that's all you're seeing. But she says to turn that compact mirror around and facing other people, so that it's not about you, it's about them. And so I'm glad that you just said that, because that's exactly what I had written down to say. When you make it about them, then it takes yourself out of the picture, and it takes the guilt and the heaviness off of you. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I have to go Emerald. It's not about you, And when you can really grab a hold of that, and when you can really start doing things for other people, then you naturally just go up, and it helps with leadership. It helps with the relationships and your business too. So that was, I think, those two, and affirmations, but really getting it off of myself really helped me. So what about you?
Definitely personal growth is probably my answer, because with that comes belief, and then you really just become even more driven and determined to really go where you want to go. And you learn like how people think, how people work, and really how to motivate and inspire people too. And you really grow as a person and a leader. I mean, honestly, whenever I first joined Plexus, public speaking was my number one worst fear. I would get hot all over, and I would just freak out. And so I have a YouTube video that's still on there from when I first started. I made my testimony. It's like 8 minutes long, and I could have made it into like 2 minutes if all the ums that were taken out and the awkward pauses. But that just really kind of goes with doing it scared. And so if you guys are scared of public speaking, make videos, do it anyway, and it gets so much better. and really talk at meetings, because if you want to be a leader in this company, you can not talk at meetings, but you're going to really kick yourself if you're really not giving everything you can into it and really becoming the person you want to be. And so I just remember that, I don't remember who said it, but they said, like, picture yourself at Emerald. What do you sound like? What do you look like? What are you wearing? Whatever. And what do you think and all that. And so the person that I saw as an Emerald, it was not the person that was a brand new ambassador. And so you really want to work every day to become the person that you want to be. And so personal growth is probably the best thing that you can do for your business and for yourself too. And it really does factor into a lot of your life as well as relationships too.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. So when you started talking about picturing yourself, you know, being where you want to be, that kind of reminded me of something. So last year I went senior Ruby in November of 2014, and I wanted to be in Hawaii with my parents. Both my parents are Emerald, and so and they took me the previous year, but I wanted to make it myself. And so I would literally close my eyes every single day. I would picture myself on the balcony looking over at the beach. I can still see it with the palm trees blowing, and I would smile, because you can't think about that and not smile, right? So I did that every single day. I closed my eyes. Every time I would think about it, I had a picture up here of an ocean, and that's what I would think about constantly. And I wore an emerald ring. I think I have it down here somewhere. Yeah, okay, so I wore this emerald ring. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And, it's just like a Walmart ring, and my mom bought me a sapphire ring now, because, you know, that's our next one. So anyway, you know, when you know where you're going and when you can really imagine those things, then that's when you'll get there. So, Jordan, do you have anything else that you want to say before we wrap it up?
Make a vision board. That'll help too.
Yes.
I think visualization is key. Like, I don't know if I can grab it, but I have this golden pineapple on my desk. And I got it back in February because I was like, oh my gosh, Hawaii, yes. And so just, I guess, put things around your house, make your screensaver on your phone, what your next goal is, and just really keep it in the forefront of your mind, and you'll get there for sure. I think visualization is really important too. So.
Yeah, I agree 110%. Well, thank you, everybody that is watching this. Hopefully someone benefits from it. And thank you, Jordan, for doing this with me. I'm so glad to have made a friend in you through Plexus. And this is a prime example of good friends that you can be made through Plexus. Me and Jordan know each other. So anyway, thank you. And that's all. I hope you guys have a great night.
Bye, guys.